miss us? Because we missed you.
What is up, awesome people of the internet? The Tennessee Lady Vols have released their non-conference schedule, and after looking at it, it kind of has me wondering, is this an easy schedule or just a very, very smart schedule? Let's talk about it. Y'all, Tennessee women's basketball is back this season, and they are on a mission to make a deep run in the NCAA Tournament again this year. But this time, they want to go further than the Sweet 16. They do have a very solid roster led by fifth-year forward Rickea Jackson, who is just a phenomenal player. She's going to be huge this year and also likely going to be probably a top 5 pick in the WNBA draft of this upcoming year for 2024. You also have a healthy Tamari Key back for the Lady Vols. Last season, she only played 9 games due to a medical issue. And so it'll be great to see her back in the paint. And yeah, Tamari Key is going to be a key, pun intended, player for Tennessee, just because she is talented and she can score in the paint and just be a big force down low. But also, she just has a ton more potential that we still haven't seen yet. And so maybe this is a year that she shows even more of what she can do in the post. So yeah, they have a solid team led by some key players. So I think it should be a very interesting year for this team to see who else steps up and helps them out, especially seeing as though they play in the very, very tough SEC conference. So the SEC, in my opinion, again, it is the toughest conference for women's basketball. If y'all disagree with that, let me know. I just don't know what other team can, or what other conference can be seen as tough as the SEC. But yeah, let me know if y'all think there's a tougher team. Because Tennessee has a tough conference play ahead of them, and because they lost a huge player, Jordan Horston. She plays for the Seattle Storm this past season. The Lady Vols, I think, have set themselves up for a somewhat challenging at times, but overall easy non-conference schedule to sort of get them ready enough for SEC play. So let's take a look at their non-conference schedule game by game. So Tennessee starts with an exhibition / preseason game on October 30th as they play against Carson Newman. And the season officially starts November 7th as a home opener against Florida A&M. So FAMU plays in the MEAC, and this isn't a very good team. Last year, they finished with a record of 6-23. So fun fact about this FAMU game, FAMU has a new coach, Bridget Gordon, who actually played for Tennessee when they won their first 2 national championships. So I think it's going to be kind of cool to have a reunion of sorts for Bridget before Tennessee destroys FAMU. So reunion, and then your team is going to get destroyed. And to keep it in the Florida family, on November 9th, Tennessee heads down to play Florida State in a game that they should also win. The Seminoles play in the ACC, and last year they had a record of 23-10. On November 13th, Tennessee returns home to play against Memphis. Last year, Memphis had a record of 19-9, and they play in the American Conference. And just another fun fact, Memphis's new head coach, Alex Simmons, also played for Tennessee. She was actually there in the Candace Parker days and won 2 national championships. So again, another fun reunion of sorts before Tennessee destroys Memphis. On November the 19th, the Lady Vols play Troy. Troy plays in the Sun Belt Conference, and last year they had a record of 17-13. After that, Tennessee will see a little bit more tougher competition when they play in the Fort Myers tip-off on the 23rd and the 25th of November. They play against Indiana and Oklahoma. Now let's focus on their first game against Indiana. So Tennessee played Indiana last season, and they lost at home, 79-67. And both of these teams are slightly different than last year's matchup. Indiana had Grace Berger, who currently plays for the Indiana Fever. And Tennessee, of course, had Jordan Horston, who is with the Seattle Storm. So both players are gone, and they were huge players for their respective teams. And so I am very much interested to see how this Indiana versus Tennessee game turns out, because I'm not really sure I'm just not really sure who will come out on top. So I think overall it should be a very, very fun game. Indiana plays in the Big Ten, and last season they had a record of 28-4. And also, it wasn't just Tennessee that Indiana beat last season. They also beat Ohio State and Maryland in the regular season. Game 2 of the Fort Myers tip-off is against Oklahoma. Oklahoma plays for the Big 12, and last year they had a record of 26-7. Tennessee finishes off November with their toughest non-conference opponent. On the 29th, Tennessee will face Notre Dame as part of the inaugural ACC versus SEC challenge. Now, for y'all who don't know about this challenge and never heard of it, that's because it's a brand new challenge, a challenge that was made by ESPN, the ACC, and the SEC. So the introduction of the ACC-SEC challenge marks the end of the ACC Big Ten challenge that lasted for 23 years. Also, this marks the end of the SEC Big Ten challenge that has been shorter lived. That challenge actually started in 2013. So the ACC and SEC challenge will feature 28 games across men's and women's basketball until the 2025 and 2026 season, when Texas and Oklahoma will join the SEC. And the event will expand to 30 games. So again, this is just another way for the conferences to make some money. Both the ACC and SEC have channels on the ESPN network. So it makes sense that they would now make their channels sort of a destination to go to throughout the basketball season with these challenge games. All right, so that's a little bit about the challenge. Now back to this specific game. I do think that Notre Dame, led by Olivia Miles, is going to beat Tennessee. This will, to me, be Tennessee's only super solid locked-in loss for non-conference play. Last season, Notre Dame had a record of 27-6, and of course, they play in the ACC for women's basketball. So on December the 3rd, Tennessee plays Ohio State for another tough game. So last year, when the two teams met, the Buckeyes won 87-75. Not really sure what this game, will look like, but I think for sure it'll be close, and it'll kind of be a toss-up on who is going to win, Tennessee or Ohio State. Last year, the Buckeyes had a record of 28-8, and they play in the Big Ten. And after that brief stint of games, the Lady Vols have a slightly easier schedule. On December the 6th, Tennessee plays their in-state neighbor, Middle Tennessee State, in Huntsville, Alabama, of all places, which is odd. But they have an agreement with Middle Tennessee where I believe Tennessee will be playing Middle Tennessee 4 times in the next several years. So the first game between the two teams is going to be in a neutral spot of Huntsville, Alabama. Middle Tennessee plays in Conference USA, and last year they had a record of 28-5, and something that I found very impressive for Middle Tennessee State is that last season they had a notable win against Louisville. So they beat Louisville 67-49, and in that game they kind of shut down Haley Van Lith. So yes, Haley Van Lith had a double-double in that game, but she played the entire game, 40 minutes, and finished with only 12 points. And she was kind of shut down with only 4 of 18 shooting from the field. So very, very rough game for the Louisville Cardinals last season. And I just wanted to say that only to say that, yes, Tennessee should win this game, but they should not be sleeping on the Blue Raiders, nor should any team in the NCAA sleep on the Blue Raiders. Yes, Tennessee is a better team than they are, but if Tennessee don't show up to play, I think the Blue Raiders may actually beat them. And also, I just love the name Blue Raiders. I think that's a fun team name. So shout out to Middle Tennessee State for that name. It's a cool one. All right, guys, continuing on, in December, Tennessee plays Eastern Kentucky on the 10th. Eastern Kentucky plays in the Atlantic Sun Conference, and last season they had a record of 18-14. On December the 19th, Tennessee plays Wofford. This is a school that I have literally never ever heard of before. This school is in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and they have a very adorable mascot name. They're called the Terriers. I just find it very, very adorable. The Wofford Terriers. The Terriers play in the Southern Conference, and last season they had a record of 22-10. They played the Lady Vols last season, and the Terriers lost 53-92. We should probably expect a very similar score from this season. All right, and finally, to wrap up non-conference play, on New Year's Eve, Tennessee plays Liberty to finish out the season. Last year, Liberty had a record of 24-9, and they also play in the Atlantic Sun Conference. All right, guys, that is the schedule. Overall, I think it's a solid schedule. It is an easy start, a somewhat challenging middle, and a very easy finish. Tennessee will probably end up with maybe 2 or 3 losses in non-conference play, which I think is very good. They for sure will lose to Notre Dame. And to me, the Ohio State and Indiana games are kind of toss-ups. I think it's possible that they win both of those and they only have 1 loss in non-conference play, but I also think it's possible for them to lose both of those, end up with 3 losses for non-conference play. But we'll kind of see what happens. I think though that's pretty much the challenging part of the season, this non-conference play for Tennessee. Of course, they have to show up and play for the other games. It's not like the other games are a cakewalk of sorts, but I think all the other games they should, as long as they show up to play, they should be able to win those games pretty simply, I would say. Also, after hearing the schedule, you may be wondering, okay, where's the Stanford game? And also, where is the UConn game? Well, this season we have to miss out on those games. I have been watching, Tennessee versus UConn and Tennessee versus Stanford for years and years and years now. And we will not see that this year. The Lady Vols have played Stanford every year since 1988. That's a fun fact for you. That was the only exception to that was during the shortened COVID season that happened in 2020 and 2021. So besides that, the Lady Vols have played the Cardinals every single year, but they will not face them this season. I haven't heard a reason why. They just won't be playing them. Also, Tennessee has played UConn for the last 4 seasons, but even before then, UConn and Tennessee has had a historic rivalry, but they will not be playing this season due to a scheduling conflict. Coach Harper, she's the coach of Tennessee, she said that she believes that the series will continue after this season. So we do have UConn versus Tennessee to look forward to in years coming in the future. The Tennessee versus Stanford thing, is that dead? I don't know. We will kind of see what happens from here. But these are 2 notable games that, they play every single year. Tennessee plays. And so I think not playing Stanford and not playing UConn has made the schedule a bit more easier for Tennessee. Yes, there is a challenging middle part that I talked about earlier, but I think overall this is going to be a quick run for Tennessee to win these games, with the exception of the games I mentioned with Notre Dame, Indiana, Ohio State. Those are the tough games for Tennessee. But overall, I think they should have a good time in non-conference play. I do like the fact that they are going to be playing against two former Lady Vols that are head coaches. So that, I think that's kind of fun. Fun reunion, but you know, Tennessee will beat their teams. All right, guys, so that's basically the video. This video is a part of the series of videos where I am going over just different teams and letting you know who they're playing against in their non-conference play. I would love to know what you guys think about this schedule. I think it's a good schedule. Again, it's an easier schedule than Tennessee has played in years past, but I think it makes sense because Tennessee is going to struggle a bit in conference play. Also, I don't think it's like they're playing a cakewalk. Yes, they're playing teams that they should beat, but it'll give good competition for Tennessee, and it'll help, I think, prepare them for SEC play and hopefully help them to make it further than the Sweet 16. This is Rickea Jackson's last season, and so I am just very much looking forward to seeing what Tennessee can do on the court. All right, guys, that is the video. Thank you all so much for watching. You all are just phenomenal. We are getting into the NCAA season this year, and I am just so looking forward to being able to cover this entire season on YouTube. It's going to be really fun. So please, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to this channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about this video. And also about other videos that you want to see this upcoming NCAA basketball year. This is a channel for women basketball fans, so if there's a video that y'all want me to make, I will try my best to make it. Just let me know in the comments below. Also, for the people who've given me suggestions before, I heard them. I am trying. There's like a whole bunch of different requests that I've gotten, and I just want to make sure that I can get to as many as possible. There have been some requests about having a video about Tennessee, and so that's why I'm making this video. Yeah, let me know if y'all have any other suggestions. You all are really amazing. I love this community, and let's just keep it going with people talking about women's basketball. All right, guys, that is the video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't liked this video already, please like it. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you all think about this video in the comments below. And until next time, guys, bye.